What is going on, YouTube? How's everyone doing on this lovely Monday night? This is Mike in the house, and today I'm going to discuss the newest July releases from Shout Factory. And there's a couple of them. I'm not going to hold you, there's a couple of them that I'm really shocked that they're getting 4Ks. So I'm just gonna go through it. I'm not gonna spend too much time on it and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna go through this. And mind you, this was updated on Blu-ray.com around 13 hours ago. So this was uploaded basically early this morning. So I'm just gonna go through the movies that are gonna be released, and you probably saw the thumbnail. And if you know what Dark Angel is, or in case you don't know what Dark Angel is, it is the 1990s science sci-fi action thriller with Dolph Lundgren, which is another known title for I Come in Peace. So I'm just gonna go right through this, and the release dates have been announced, and they are up for pre-order right now on shoutfactory.com, and pretty sure you could get up, pre-order on Blu-ray. I'm not sure if it's upload. I'm not sure if you could pre-order it on Amazon. I think you most likely you will, most likely. And then there's a couple of them there's a couple movies that are re-releases. So I'm just gonna go through this as quickly as possible. All right, so now Dark Angel, the one that came out in 1990 with Dolph Lundgren, that is getting a 4K, I believe, a 4K slip cover, and that is due out July 9th, and the price point of that is $35.99. And yes, and you know what, and I'm not 100% sure if I'm gonna get this on day one. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure if I wanna. I don't think this is gonna go out of print quickly. I mean, unless if we have a whole stuff ton of Dolph Lundgren fans out there. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna pre-order this right away. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna lie, I do have the Blu-ray, and the Blu-ray came out like several years ago, but I don't know. Like, did we really want? Wouldn't it be cool to? And I said this on one of my last live streams. Like, wouldn't it be cool if we can get movies like Dark Angel or I Come in Peace? Well, now we finally get one. Well, now we finally get I Come in Peace on 4K. And like I said, mind you, it does have a Blu-ray, and yes, the price point is $35.99. That's a little bit too steep, a little bit, but I'm pretty sure it is, special features and stuff like that. But I don't know, for that price point, it's like, I don't know. That's a little, now. If it was a steel book, then it would be a little bit different. So you have Red Sonja, that's getting just a Blu-ray release. Now, here's my thing with that. And we just got Conan the Barbarian and then Conan the Destroyer on 4K. You know what I'm saying? And then, by the way, Conan the Barbarian, the standard edition, is going to be coming tomorrow. It's going to be released tomorrow. So if you missed out on the 4K limited L box set edition, there you gonna get the standard 4K is gonna be released tomorrow. So Red Sonja, I feel like I'm gonna wait on this because I feel like maybe months down the road they're gonna announce a 4K. So I think I'm just gonna wait on that. And the price point on that one, I think is, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's $27.99. If I'm not mistaken. So yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I'm not in a big rush to get Red Sonja. You know what I'm saying? And I want to try to collect as many Arnold Schwarzeneggers as possible. You know what I'm saying? And like, if we can get Red Sonja, can we get can we get Commando? Can we get Commando on 4K? I mean, that's a good question. I feel like that might come out next year because then that would be like the pretty much like the 30th 40th anniversary, 40th anniversary, yeah, 40th anniversary. So it's like, can we get a 4K of that? You know what I'm saying? So I mean, we get all these Arnold Schwarzeneggers, but we haven't got like his ones that kind of put him to stardom, like Terminator and Commando. I mean, we got Running Man. We got that on 4K Steelbook, but like Red Sonja, it's like, I mean, it. I wouldn't say. Okay, here's the thing. I wouldn't exactly go as far as saying that's one of Arnold's best movies. You know what I'm saying? Of course, The Terminator. Of course, Commando. Of course, I'll even go as far as Twins. You know what I'm saying? Predator. I mean, we got Predator that's on 4K, but Red Sonja. I mean, I'm glad it's only a Blu-ray, but I feel like a 4K is a brewing, so I think I'm just gonna hold off on that. So July 2nd. All right, so let me go to the ones that's on July 2nd. So July 2nd, we have Who's That Girl? That one stars Madonna, and that one's also stars Griffin Dunn. Um, that's I'm not. I felt like that came out already on Blu-ray. That's what I feel like. I don't know if it's like a re-release or what. You know what I'm saying? And the price point for that is $27.99. And that one, I'm like, I again, like if it was like maybe 21.99, then maybe. But I just don't see myself buying it on the first day. I mean, I feel like as if I felt like they already came out with it, like on Blu-ray. You know what I'm saying? And it's just a re-release. So, um, now the biggest surprise is UHF. Now UHF is getting a 4K. The one that stars Weird Al Yankovic. That is getting a 4K release, and that one is $35.99. Now, again, that's something that I'm not pushing to get right now. I'll wait on the future sale for that and stuff like that. I'll just wait on it. I don't know. Again, that's just uh, that. I mean, I know it's a comedy. I haven't seen it. I don't know too much about it, but I know it's a pretty. I know it's like a cult class. I know it has like a cult following, so I'm not pushing to get it right away. So another one that's coming out July 2nd is Evangelion 3.0 Thrice Once Upon a Time. That one is getting a 4K Blu-ray Steelbook. And that's also coming out July 2nd. And that one, the price point for that one is $29.99. Which I find that kind of weird because you selling that for $29.99, but all these other ones you selling for like $30, $40. You know what I'm saying? And again, that one I don't know anything about, and I'm not pushing to get that one, so I think I'm gonna skip that one. Um, Natural Born Killers is getting a 4K re-release, and that's coming up July 2nd, and the price point for that is $39.99. Now, I've heard nothing but good things about Natural Born Killers. I've heard nothing but good things, but I don't think I'm going to. I think once again I'm going to skip this title. I don't know if it's a sale and if it costs. about maybe I want to say if it was like 21.99, maybe I may consider, but 39, come on, that's a little bit steep. I couldn't see myself paying for that unless it's getting ready to go out print. Now I know Natural Born Killers when Best Buy was selling physical media. I know for a fact that Best Buy was carrying it. So, I mean, if you missed out on it the first time, July 2nd, you have a second chance at getting it. Now, you also have a second chance of getting Point Break, the 1991 Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze classic directed by Catherine Bigelow, Academy Award winner Catherine Bigelow. That is the Steelbook is coming back in. I remember that was like now this one is a limited edition once again. So, and the price point for that is $39.99. That I see once again. That's still too steep. When they were selling it at Best Buy, it was $35.99, but they were already at this point out of print. You know what I'm saying? And it's just at this point, it's like, well, I mean, it's a good movie. You know what I'm saying? And even the 4K slipcover, it's about $29.99. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I kind of opted on the slipcover just because it's a little cheaper. But Point Break, yes, that is one of my favorite movies, and it's a movie that a lot of people have to see. Now I've heard bad things about the newest one that came out a few years back. So I mean, I don't know. It just seems like these older movies are getting more pricier by the second. It's just, and that goes for like any movie that's getting a little bit pricey. Um, now this movie that I don't even think we even asked for on 4K, but House of Gucci. It has an all-star cast including Lady Gaga, Adam Driver, Al Pacino. That movie, I've heard pretty decent things about it. I don't know if I want to get it. I already have the Blu-ray, and I haven't even sat down and opened it or nor watched this movie yet. But I kind of do want to see this movie, and I mean, I guess it would look good for 4K treatment. I mean, especially the scene where they're skiing down the slopes. I mean, I guess that would look nice on 4K. But I mean, at the same time, like, did we really ask for House of Gucci on 4K? Do we really need it? It's like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I remember this, came out on Blu-ray, and I didn't think it was going to see a light of day of 4K. And then Shout Factory all of a sudden announced that they want to do a 4K of this. Well, I don't know. Here's my thing. When it comes to movies like House of Gucci, when it comes to other certain other movies, it's like, well, we need more options. You know what I'm saying? Like, do we like some movies don't really necessarily need a 4K, but at the same time, if you're gonna put out a 4K, don't wait a couple of years later. But they want to see if House of Gucci is going to sell, which I don't know if it even sold that great. I don't think it sold too good, but Shout Factory decided to put it out on 4K. So, I mean, we'll see. That one is coming July 30th. Another movie that's coming out July 30th, we have Ali G in the House. And I've heard about this movie, but I have yet to see it. And that one's only getting a Blu-ray, and the price point for that is $31.99. Which, again, this is something. Once again, the price point is just a little bit too much. I haven't seen a movie. I don't know if I'm interested in seeing this movie. I've heard pretty decent things about this movie, so it's just one of those things. So it's like it's just stuff like this. It's just a little bit too steep. You know what I'm saying? So, um, what else? Oh, okay. So storytelling. I think I've missed one. Storytelling. It's a movie called Storytelling, and that's coming out July 9th, and the price point for that is $27.99. I don't know nothing about this movie. I think it's a documentary, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm gonna bypass on that. But yes, we are getting Dark Angel, which that was the biggest shock. And did we really ask for Dark Angel? But at the same time, I would love to see Dark Angel on 4K. That would be something. That would be interesting. Like I want to see how they cleaned it up. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that the disc is. I want to see how it how it is on 4K with the Dark Angel guys just started like killing people with his disc and stuff like that. Like he literally uses like a disc as a weapon, and like it pretty much killed you. It's like a blade or some shit like that, but he kills people with killer discs. And the only thing he says throughout the movie is "I come in peace." So I'm like, okay, yeah, it would be interesting to see. It would be interesting. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's the second movie that Dolph Lundgren has on 4K. The first one was Universal Soldier, and of course, okay, I take this back. And of course, if you really want to count Rocky 4, if you really want to count that, then we could count it. But I'm talking about as far as Dolph Lundgren's like, starring role. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's other movies that need a 4K release of his. You know what I'm saying? Um, how about can we get Red Scorpion? Can we get that on 4K? You know what I'm saying? Like that was a good movie. Can we get He? I wouldn't go as far as He Man, but at the same time, like it would be nice. It would be nice to get He Man on 4K. But like, guys, the price point of some of these is just outrageous. You know what I'm saying? It's really outrageous. So I don't know. I don't know. I honestly I don't know. I would like to Men of War. I wouldn't mind seeing that on 4K. That would be nice. That would be nice. How much? Tony says, how much will they have to pay you to buy the 4K of the new Mean Girls? I don't care about that or the new Really. I would not even purchase the new Mean Girls. That is a musical, and I don't care for musicals. How much will they have to pay me? Somebody will have to buy it for somebody will have to buy it for me. I'm not for I am not forking over no kind of money for the new Mean Girls. Now the 2004, since that's getting the steel book, I will fork over for that because that is a very good movie by Lindsay Lohan. I think it's a much better movie than the newest one. I would not even pay a dime to the new Mean Girls. In fact, hell, my birthday's coming up in less than 20 days. Shoot, if y'all want to give me that for a birthday present, that is fine with me. Yeah, Universal Soldier on 4K. Um, Austin, I have. I haven't opened it yet. I'm curious to see how it looks on 4K. There's another movie that Dolph Lundgren did. It was around the same time Men of War came out. I think it's called Pathalon or Patathlon. Um, that was a different role for Dolph Lundgren. That was kind of different. And he's speaking in this weird, kind of like this weird accent and stuff like that. He's kind of a little bit more charismatic in that one, and his acting was pretty good in that. It was pretty good, and it also has David Soul in that one. He was from Starsky and Hutch. Um, $30 for a Blu-ray. Yeah, it is outrageous. It's just getting too high. It's just at that point. It's at that point where I'm almost ready to stop collecting physical media altogether because of how high it's getting. I've heard Babylon was pretty decent. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm gonna watch the trailer again. I know I watched it before, but I wasn't really interested in it. But I haven't seen it up. But I heard pretty good things about it. Joe Blow is in the building. What's good? What's good with you? Um, Austin wants the Toxic Avenger. I do too. I've only seen the first one. I haven't seen the others. I've heard the others was pretty decent, but I used to have the first one on Blue. No, I had it on VHS, and I thought that was a. It was a movie that didn't really take itself serious. I don't know how much that Toxic Avenger movie cost. I think that cost like $100 or something like. Well, I think it was a little bit less than $100, but I remember being up there though. The sequels are hilarious. Yeah, yeah, I can see that, and it's a trauma film. So those trauma films, they don't take themselves really too serious. Um, Tony says that Maxine trailer looks dope. If this movie is good, that means the X Pearl Maxine trilogy go down as one of the best horror trilogies of all time. I've seen X. X was pretty dope. Pearl, I have yet to see yet. Maxine, I do want to see that because that takes place in the 80s. So that's like my kind of movie. So I'm definitely going to go see that. Austin says it was less than a million budget wise. Yeah, I see. So I see. It looked like it. I mean, even though it was a low budget film, it was still pretty good. It was still like a pretty good like cheese fest. Now they're supposed to be remaking they're supposed to be making that movie, the Toxic Avenger. I don't know when. I thought it was gonna come out sometime last year or this year, but I don't know. I heard they was gonna remake. It was gonna be remade. I don't know how they're gonna do it, especially in this day and age. And I feel like if they were to redo that, I don't some see some of that stuff. The Toxic Avenger, some of the stuff. I don't know if it will fly today. I don't know. But at the same time, you have Winnie the Pooh that gets a R rating, and barely anybody went to see that. But yeah, that Toxic Avenger, that collection, yeah, I do want. I want that at some point. Hopefully, it's not out of print. It better not be out of print. Oh man. So, um, Toxie 2 was actually 2 million in the budget drops. Yeah, I feel like the first I don't know. Like I feel like the first one um capitalized um I feel like the first one's always gonna be good. I feel like the other ones, I don't know. Like I said, I haven't seen the other ones, but I feel like it's not gonna be as great as the first. But I mean, who knows? It could be better. I don't know. I'll definitely check it out. But I do want that 4K though. Tony says I watched that Walmart tour you did like 8 times video you did like 8 times. It's funny as fuck. Have you ever called someone out for walking into you or stand for no reason? Um, It's funny because I've actually, to be honest with you, I just stared at him right back. And then I think it was at one point, I'm like, the fuck you looking at? And then they quickly just turned their head. And it's like, I've gotten bumped before, and most of the time people apologize, but it's been a couple instances where I got bumped and they didn't say anything. And I haven't, not to the point where almost, that I got into a fight or anything like that, but it was just one of those things. So it's like, all right, come on. You see me coming this way. Like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? So, um, which which Walmart video you talking about? Is it that one that I came in and then I started taking a tour around the store? Because if I think that's the video I think you're talking about, I'm not gonna lie. At that, I was on some stuff. I was on something that day because I was at that point. I was already in a pissy mood. I think at that point, I just didn't give a fuck. So it was like, but I went to Myers the other day. Actually, today I went to Myers, and Myers, and this is why I don't buy physical media from Myers at all, because one, they're too pricey. Two, they don't have anything. So, and speaking of Walmart, I may go to a Walmart tomorrow and do a video because it is new release Tuesday. So I probably gonna see what they have, and I don't know, who knows. But what's getting me right now is I'm trying to pre-order The Crow on 4K, and so far I'm having no luck. They said that it's out of stock. We don't know when it's coming back in and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, here we go. This is like a limited. It's always the limited edition ones. It's like you have to order it like when they first get announced before you get, shafted. The one where I was talking shit about the workers not doing their job and bumping. Oh yeah. Well, here's the thing. It's one thing if I see you do work, but it's another thing if I don't see you doing shit. That means shit ain't getting stocked, and when shit's getting stocked, that's why people are not exactly thrilled with the physical media right now, because the physical media is not getting stocked. It is not getting stocked because it's just because people like that, they're not stocking the stuff. So they either stock it too late or they do stock it early, it's already gone. So yeah, people bump, yeah. That day, and this is why I don't really care for going on Saturdays like that, because you get a lot of that. People bump into you and stuff, and then like even like doing afternoon, and like I see it gets a little busy during afternoon, and it's like, why is it so busy? Like, shouldn't you guys be at work or something? Like, what? Like, that's crazy. Yeah, Austin the Crow, yeah, it's selling out. It's sold out really quick. Unless they got it's more shipment coming back in, maybe the week before, maybe. I don't know yet. Um Yeah, I saw the new Crow. I saw the trailer for that last night. I have mixed feelings, and here's why I have mixed feelings for it. Because for one thing, Brandon Lee, who did the first Crow, I think he gave an Oscar-worthy performance, in my honest opinion. I think he should have got an Oscar nomination. I think it was his best performance of his career. And two, it was just the way it was made. It was just so dark, and it was just well done. You know what I'm saying? And it just sucks that he got killed doing the set, doing shooting of The Crow. You know what I mean? And no offense to Bill Skarsgård, but I mean Pennywise doing The Crow. I don't know. And speaking of which, I just saw him in Boy Kills Girl. Actually, I got a review coming pretty soon, so stay tuned for that. But the new it's that the new Crow, I'm like, it's just don't look as great. I don't think it's touching Brandon Lee's Crow. I'm sorry. Like if anybody says otherwise, then yeah, we're gonna have to have an argument. And I really want them to compare and contrast the Brandon Lee one, because if anybody tries to argue saying that, well, the and they always stutter when they try to get a point across. They always stutter. It's like, well, I haven't really seen. Okay, conversation is over with. Go back, look at the old one, then come back and we'll talk about. Oh, I don't have to look at the new one. It doesn't matter. Yeah, trust me, it does. That's like watching a remake of Ghostbusters without watching the OG first. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Now, some movies you can get away with not watching the OG. Some movies you can get away with it, but we talking about we talking about a cult classic here. Then I just Tony says I just wish they made the new Crow look like the OG one. I agree. This one looks like a Fortnite character. Yeah, I agree. I think Bill Skarsgård, I don't know if he's the right choice for it. They could have got somebody else. Now, here's another announcement that I'm gonna tell you guys. They are doing a Chris Farley movie, and they're getting Paul Walter Hauser to play him. Which, if you don't know who Paul Walter Hauser is, he was in Cobra Kai. He was in what is that? Um, he was in Cruella. He was in other movies and stuff. Um, Here's my thing, and I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this. I didn't care for Chris Farley. I didn't think he was funny. I'm going to get a lot of flack for it. I already know, but I didn't think he was fun. Chris Farley, I didn't think he was funny. I didn't think. But what makes it worse is that you have an actor who is mediocre to play Chris Farley. He doesn't really look like him like that. Doesn't really look almost nothing like him. And is this? Are you doing? And then you have Josh Gad directing it, which that's another blow to the face. Now, you would think Adam Sandler would direct, produce, or something, have some sort of involvement, because that was like a brother. Or you would think to get Chris Farley, who has a brother, But people say, "Oh, he's too old." Oh, well, no, well, what? Well, okay, but you can make him young. You could literally, seriously, could make him young. But I feel like he didn't want to take on that responsibility. I don't think. But if I find out that he wanted some sort of involvement and turned it down, then there's gonna be an issue because to me, Chris Farley, I didn't think John Candy was funny either. I didn't think neither one of them was funny, honestly. But Chris Farley, though, to be honest with you, um, I just I never got into him. Like screaming on the top of your lungs is not funny to me. Standing or walking weird or like jumping up and down like a little baby, it's not funny to me. It's just I couldn't laugh at Chris Farley. I mean, no offense. I respect people who like Chris Farley or John Candy. I like John Candy as far as him not being trying not to be funny. Like Planes, Trains, Automobiles, perfect example. I thought he was great. A movie called Only the Lonely. I thought that was probably his best performance. Um, Uncle Buck, I thought he was pretty good in that. Home Alone, when he did that somewhat of a cameo role, I thought he was excellent. But when he does all this funny stuff, it's just, it's not, I can't do, I'm sorry, but no. That's what Capital, no. I don't think they're funny. Martin Lawrence, on the other hand, I feel like Martin Lawrence, he's very underrated when it comes to his comedies because his comedies, it did push his stand up pushed the envelope and it should have. The Martin show will go down as one of the best shows of all time. Very good. It's almost like if you watch it for the first time, you laugh so hard. His movies, I say Bad Boys, yeah, Bad Boys and Blue Streak, Nothing to Lose, Thin Line Between Love and Hate. I thought, great movies, you know, basically almost trashed by critics, but I mean, they were great movies. He did excellent job in House Party, even though the performances really belong to Kid and really the performances really belong to Kid and Play and Tisha Campbell, which I think gave great performances in my honest opinion. Um, do I remember when there were news about him going crazy in the airport? What I see, I heard that rumor before. What's good, Deadpool? I heard about that before. Didn't he like had a gun or something like that? I forgot. I know he had like heat stroke with when he was running up and down, he was taking a jog. I know he had heat stroke. But I don't know how true that is. I haven't heard too much about it. So I don't know. I don't know how true that is. I don't even think that's true. I don't know. I don't know. People just, and then you also have to remember that that little spat with him and Tisha Campbell, that didn't help matters either. But I'll tell you what is really funny. He did get banned from Saturday Night Live because of a monologue that his opening monologue, and they went on ahead to do the show anyway. But He got banned from Saturday Night Live. Later on, like several years later, they lifted the ban, but he wasn't asked to come back on Saturday Night Live. You know what I'm saying? So with Saturday Night Live, they're very notorious about firing people. I mean, they fired. I mean, look what they fired. They fired Chris Farley. They fired Adam Sandler, Chris Rock. Um, they fired a bunch of people. And they're very notorious. They love to cut people. I'm surprised. I'm sorry. I'm surprised they didn't fire Keenan Thompson, which I don't think and that's another one who which I don't think he's funny on there. I'm surprised they didn't let him go. So, but I'm definitely not gonna speak on no more about that. But yeah, man. People say he was crazy. Yeah, well, a lot of people say a lot of people say he was. I mean, I think it was more of his. I think it was more of his fame. I think he let it get to his head. I think it was more of his fame more than anything else. And when you famous like that, it's almost like you have to feed the ego. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, yeah, it was funny. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned Stan because yeah, the actor who plays Stan, his name is Garrett Morris, and he was on Cooley. He was in Cooley High. He played the teacher. Um, but yeah, um, the real reason why he got fired on the show is because, for one thing, when season 2 ended, and this was 1994, he ended up. Garrett Morris got shot and was in the hospital, and Martin Lawrence didn't come see him. So that's how he was written out of the show at this point. And again, this is Martin Lawrence fame getting in his head. You know what I'm saying? But Garrett Morris ended up coming back. Stan, he ended up coming back for one episode of season 3, and that was when Martin and Gina, they were trying to invest in a restaurant. So he came back for one episode, and when you notice he was walking around with a cane, that's when that was after the fact he got shot. So I think he got shot in the leg or something like that. So this was like doing like an armed robbery. So I think he got robbed. So which I mean, and then too, Garrett Morris was also a comedian too. He started off as Saturday Night Live. I mean, he was an OG comedian. So you had old school and new school, one another. And that, I think, and like I said, Martin Lawrence, he got in way over his head. And once he got way over his head, that was it. You know what I mean? And then all that stuff with Tisha Campbell, that didn't do it, that ended Martin. Martin could went on for about a couple more years at least. It could have been. It could have been. It should have been. But yeah, yeah, that's one of my favorite momentum spoons. Yeah. So, um, yeah, I wanted to just come on here and I wanted to tell you guys about the latest releases from Shout Factory And yes, we are getting Dark Angel that is coming out on 4K. So all these titles, I left a link on in the description box. Go on Blu-ray.com. Shout out to Blu-ray, and then go on ScreenFactory.com and pre-order your titles. Me, on the other hand, I will wait for a future sale. So if you don't want to spend all that money, you can always wait for a future sale and stuff like that. So, with that being said, I am going to get on out of here. Expect a unboxing video along with I have a couple of movies that I do want to show off for you guys, and a few vinyls that I want to show off for you guys. So, with that being said, this is Mike from Mike's Movie Corner and more, and I will see you guys in the next video.